Hey everyone, I'm the Anime Watcher, and today I have watched all episodes of Demon Slayer Season 1 in 0.25x speed and found 72 amazing details that you may or may not have seen before. Without wasting any of your time, let's get into the juicy details. Detail number 1. The series pick up where Tanjiro carrying Nezuko and dashing through the snowy landscape. However, when we see a low-angle shot, the snow trail behind him looks like a wheel path, not a footstep. But at the high-angle view, where we can clearly see the snow trail is made by Tanjiro's footsteps. This might be a small mistake from the animators team. Detail number 2. The mystery of Tanjiro's scar. Many fans have wondered about the origin of Tanjiro's scar, which seems to change shape and color throughout the series. Some believe that it was caused by an accident involving hot soup, but what if that was a lie? What if his father deliberately burned his son's forehead to hide his Demon Slayer mark because his father also has scar too? What if Tanjiro was born with the Demon Slayer mark all along? And what if his father knew that Muzan was hunting down anyone who possessed the sun-breathing bloodline? So he do this to save Tanjiro's life. Detail number 3. Did you know, in the Demon Slayer story, not a single character has square pattern cloth like Tanjiro's family? Detail number 4. If you watch Demon Slayer in Chinese, you will see Tanjiro's earrings are different from the rest of the world. You know, because of the war history between Japan and China. Detail number 5. When Tanjiro stayed for a night at this man's place, it could be that this man saw Muzan walk past this place. That's why he stopped Tanjiro from going in that direction. Also, Tanjiro said he was alone since his family left, but we can tell his family did not leave him. In fact, this man had witnessed a demon kill his entire family before, because there were a lot of umbrellas in his house for one person. That meant a lot of people used to live here. That's why he knew about demons and demon slayers. Detail number 6. Skip to detail number 7 at 2:50 because this is a spoiler. The shape of Gyu's sword handle matches the pattern on his haori. Another sad detail is that the reason why Gyu's haori has 2 different colors is because one half belongs to Sabito, who was another student of Urokodaki. The dark red half of Gyu's haori belongs to his older sister, Tsutako Tomioka. She was killed by a demon when Gyu was a young boy, but she managed to save him by hiding him from the demon's sight. She died the night before her wedding, leaving Gyu alone and traumatized. Gyu wears his haori as a tribute to his sister and friend, which explains why he is so emotionless all the time. Detail number 7. The axe that Tanjiro uses to attack Gyu is the same axe that his brother used previously. Detail number 8. At the beginning of episode 2, we can see a crow flying above their heads. This is Gyu Tomioka Crow, who he told to follow and watch over them in case something bad happened. That's how Urokodaki was able to find Tanjiro, because he followed the scent of Gyu's crow. I'm sure this was Gyu's crow and not Urokodaki's crow, because the retired Hashira don't have crows anymore. Detail number 9. Not all sun-breathing bloodline has the best gene like Tanjiro, but Tanjiro also got inherited his strong forehead from his mother. It was revealed in the end credits of one episode that his mother even used her forehead to fight with a boar. Detail number 10. Urokodaki wears a scary mask all the time because his real face is too nice and kind. He thinks that the demons and his students won't fear him if he doesn't wear the mask. Detail number 11. Even though Tanjiro is still young, his sense of smell is at the same level as Urokodaki's. They can both identify different types of blood and breathing styles by their scent. The only drawback of Tanjiro is that he can smell things, but he doesn't know what they are. That's why he didn't know that demons existed in the first place. Detail number 12. Notice how Urokodaki puts rocks on his roof and wood on his windows. This is because his house is on a mountain that faces a lot of strong wind, as we can see when he trains Tanjiro. I love this realistic detail that the animators put in. Detail number 13. In the death trap hole, when Tanjiro nearly falls in, the knives in the hole are actually the chips or broken swords of Urokodaki and his students. This shows how dangerous and difficult the final selection test is, and how many lives have been lost in the process. Detail number 14. The reason why Nezuko's hairstyle is different from when she was still in her human form is because Tanjiro doesn't know how to tie his sister's hair. But we did see him learning to make her hair look like Mitsuri's hair in Season 3. Detail number 15. When 𝐕 shows Tanjiro the boulder, we can see that it has a robe on it. Normally the boulder doesn't have any robe on it, but this boulder actually belongs to the stone Hashira, Gyome Himejima. He put his robe on the boulder to honor Kanai Kocho memory, and to show his gratitude for her friendship. He also hopes that his robe will protect the boulder from being damaged by the harsh weather. The boulder is important to him because it was the place where he first met Kanai Kocho, and where they had many conversations about their lives and beliefs. Detail number 16. When Tanjiro was training, a boy named Sabito came to challenge him. This boy would have been the same age as Giyu Tomioka if he had survived. He was Giyu's friend and trained with him, but he died during the final selection, which is why his clothes have the same pattern as Giyu's. Half of Giyu's haori is actually from Sabito, who gave it to him as a token of their friendship. Detail number 17. The scar on Sabito's mask mirrors the scar on his face, which he got from a demon attack when he was a child. This shows how Sabito's mask is not just a disguise, but a symbol of his courage and determination to fight against the demons. Detail number 18. When Tanjiro finally cut through the boulder, we could clearly see a letter on its side. However, it was in Japanese. If anyone can translate this letter, please comment down below. Detail number 19. Urokodaki never uses the same mask on different students. He crafts each mask by his own hand, and the art on the mask reflects the style or personality of the student. For example, Sabito has a scarred mask and Tanjiro has a sun mark on his forehead. This means that Urokodaki knew about Tanjiro's sun-breathing bloodline all along. That's why he gave him the hint to be flexible and adapt to the situation. Otherwise, why would he put such a specific sun mark on the mask? It's too obvious that he knew. Detail number 20. Did you notice that the twin daughters of Master Kagaya Ubuyashiki have different hair colors? One has black hair and the other has white hair, but at the Hashira meeting arc, they both have white hair. Why is that? Well, spoiler ahead. It turns out that Kagaya Ubuyashiki has 5 children, 4 daughters and 1 son. But you have never seen his son, did you? It's because the girl with black hair was actually a boy, and the other 4 with white hair are girl. The boy's name, Kirya Ubuyashiki. He was raised as a girl because of a tradition in his family that only allows male heirs to inherit the leadership. He later becomes the 98th and final leader of the Demon Slayer Corps after his father's death. Detail number 21. Did you know that the sword that Urokodaki gave to Tanjiro has a blue color, just like Inosuke? That's because the sword's color doesn't change even if someone else holds it. The color of the sword is determined by the first person who holds it. So Tanjiro's sword is blue because Urokodaki's sword was blue. Isn't that interesting? Detail number 22. Even without a crow, Kanao always had butterflies following her everywhere she went. However, she got rid of them after she received a crow. Some people speculated that the butterflies were eaten by the crow. Detail number 23. Did you realize that none of the ores on that table would suit Tanjiro well? That's because he is a sun-breathing user, and he needs a special rare ore to make his sword. This ore is revealed in Season 3. That explains why his sword was easy to break and chip because it was not compatible with him. Detail number 24. Do you know why the government doesn't acknowledge the Demon Slayer Corps? It's not only because they don't believe in them. It's also because they would never approve of their methods. The Demon Slayer Corps sends a lot of kids to die during the final selection, a brutal test of survival against demons. So, if the government knew about this, they would shut down the operation immediately. Detail number 25. Did you notice that the swordsmith recognized Tanjiro's hair color shade? He knew that he came from the sun-breathing bloodline, a rare and ancient lineage of demon slayers. But why did Tanjiro's sword color change to black? It was not just a coincidence. It had a deeper meaning that will be revealed in the future arc. Detail number 26. As you can see, the reason why Tanjiro covers Nezuko's mouth with the bamboo stick is not because he's afraid that she will bite someone, but because he wants to hide her teeth when she walks around at night. In that case, she will blend in with normal people perfectly. Detail number 27. Did you know that Muzan had a lot of wives during his lifetime? And that this girl was not his daughter? He just shapeshifted into someone and disguised himself as this girl's father. In the storyline, he always kills his fake family, so this mother and daughter were doomed from the start. Detail number 28. Do you understand why Muzan was so angry at this man? It was not because he said he had a pale face, but because he mentioned the word death. Muzan is obsessed with finding a way to be immortal and to walk under the sun, so he hates the idea that he is going to die. Detail number 29. Did you realize that these two demons that Muzan ordered to kill Tanjiro had never met each other in their entire lives? This was the first time that they encountered each other. I'm surprised they worked together so well on their first mission. Detail number 30. One fan pointed out that this scene was not a mistake. When Nezuko grew her leg back, she did not grow her sock as well. She just ran to pick up her sock and put it back on. Detail number 31. We can tell that Zenitsu had not received any missions yet after he passed the final selection. This is because he could not understand what his sparrow said, and he had never heard the crow speak before. Detail number 32. Tanjiro's generosity is shown by how he willingly gives all his rice to Zenitsu, putting the needs of others before his own. Zenitsu, on the other hand, shows that he is fair and does not want to take advantage of anyone, as he returns the rice to Tanjiro. The only exception is when he sees a beautiful girl, as he becomes a bit of a pervert. Detail number 33. The reason why Zenitsu got a sparrow is because the sparrow chose him. He saw that Zenitsu was very scared, so his job is to cheer him up. The sparrow volunteered to become a Kasugai crow after his family was killed by demons. He passed the Kasugai crow test and was assigned to Zenitsu, who can't understand his chirps and calls him Chuntaro. Detail number 34. There is a mystery behind Inosuke Crow, as it never appears on screen. Some people think that he ate his crow because he always wants to eat Tanjiro's crow, but there is also a theory that his crow always follows him from behind because it is afraid that Inosuke will eat it. Detail number 35. The reason why Inosuke calls Tanjiro the wrong name all the time is not because he is stupid or forgetful, but because he wants to mock him and annoy him. Detail number 36. Notice that when they all sleep together, the crow and Zenitsu's sparrow stay up on the roof to look after them, just in case a demon shows up. Detail number 37. The way the old lady said, "Hold your head high," and the three of them didn't understand. It was a foreshadowing of Rengoku's words before he died. Hold your head high and set your heart ablaze. Detail number 38. The reason why Zenitsu was so scared at the mountain was because he heard the terrifying noises from the mountain that the other two couldn't hear. But Zenitsu didn't know that he had this ability yet at this point. Detail number 39. Notice that Inosuke doesn't have any sword sheath. Every time he uses his sword, he has to release the fabric from his sword and put it back when he is done. But if you notice, he dropped his fabric here. Then why does he have another fabric to cover his sword here, which is so far away from where he dropped it? Detail number 40. The reason why all these demons have red dotted lines on their face and body is because it is a symbol of the blood bond that Rui created for them. They all have their own unique look, but Rui forced them to shapeshift to look like him. Detail number 41. Rui could have been as strong as the lower one demon or even stronger if he had not transferred his blood to his fake family. Moreover, he chose to become a demon by Muzan himself, so it makes sense that he could be stronger than that. Detail number 42. A lot of people were upset because they wanted Tanjiro to be the one who killed Rui instead of Giyu, because this scene was too beautiful and it was such a waste. But think about it. If Tanjiro had killed the lower five, he would have become a Hashira, because anyone who can kill a 12 Kizuki by themselves can claim the Hashira rank if there is a free spot. So the story would not be good, because he had not shown enough character development yet. Detail number 43. The house that we see in this scene when Rui saved his sister was Rui's house when he was still human. So this mountain was actually a village once. Detail number 44. The reason why Shinobu always asks demons to become her friend all the time is not because she wants to mock them or she really wants to be their friend, but because she still wants to prove to her dead sister that humans and demons will never become friends. Detail number 45. Notice that Urokodaki told Tanjiro that the Demon Slayer Core cloth was resistant to some demon powers. But this boy's cloth melted from the power of a demon who was not even a 12𝐒𝐄𝐑𝐄, so Demon Slayer uniform is not even that useful. Detail number 46. Notice that they show Rui can meet his parents and go to heaven after death. In Demon Slayer logic, if you did not do anything bad before becoming a demon, you are still considered as a good person after death. Only demons that did bad things even while they were still human are going to hell, but all the bad things that they did after becoming a demon will fall back to Muzan. Muzan is the one who will go to hell for them. Detail number 47. If you don't know, Shinobu's sword has two types of toxins on her blade. The tip of the sword has brutal toxin, which gives the enemies the worst pain before they die. But the base of the sword has gentle toxin, which makes the enemies die peacefully without feeling any pain. Detail number 48. The reason behind the Master of the Mansion having poison on his face is actually not poison, but he was suffering from a curse that was passed down through his bloodline by Muzan. So even Nezuko's flame cannot cure him. Detail number 49. When the wind Hashira dropped his blood on Nezuko, this was the strongest test so far, because his blood is not just normal blood. His blood type is very special because it is Marechi, which means rare blood. Marechi blood is very attractive and delicious to demons, and it can also make them lose their senses and become weaker. Sanemi's blood is so potent that even Muzan Kibutsuji, the first and strongest demon, was affected by it. Sanemi uses his blood as a weapon to lure and kill demons, and that's why his body has so many cuts. Detail number 50. Did you know that the Master of the Mansion was blind? All his bloodline will die at around 20 to 30 years old because Muzan cursed his own royal family. And yes, even though Demon Slayer Corps are not recognized by the government, the leader of Demon Slayer Corps was from the royal family. That's why they have so many resources to fund this organization. Demon Slayer Corps don't make any money. They only run by funds from the royal family and some rich families across Japan that they have saved their life before. Detail number 51. Even though the four daughters of the Master who have white hair look the same, you can still tell them apart by the color of their belts. Each one has a different color bow on their belt. Detail number 52. Out of the 9 Hashira, only 4 of them use a normal katana. 5 of them use an unusual sword or use another weapon instead of a sword. The Master doesn't use any weapon and also doesn't know how to fight. The reason they respect him so much is because he is a royalty. Japan really respects their king and royal bloodline if you don't know. Detail number 53. This one is the most important detail. In the Hashira meeting scene when Kikuchi carried Tanjiro away, the Master of the Mansion did mention Miss Tamayo. And remember when the crow told Tanjiro to go to Tokyo, instead of completing his mission, he was busy fighting with Muzan. This was not a coincidence. This was perfectly planned out by the Master. He knew from the beginning that Tanjiro was from the sun-breathing bloodline. And after he learned about Nezuko not eating humans, he told the crow to tell Tanjiro to go to Tokyo on purpose for meeting Miss Tamayo. He knew about Miss Tamayo and what she does, so he planned for Tanjiro and Miss Tamayo to meet just in case she could cure Nezuko and humanity by studying Nezuko's condition. But meeting Muzan there was unexpected thanks to Tanjiro's good nose. Detail number 54. Notice that there were 4 certificates on the training wall in Butterfly Mansion. 2 belonged to Shinobu and her older sister who died, and the other 2 belonged to Kanao and Aoi who passed this training session. And the 3 little girls were just workers there. Detail number 55. At this scene, when these 2 sneaked to look at Tanjiro's training, we can see some food stuck on their mouths, which means they sneaked to look after Tanjiro, but they also sneaked to find something to eat. Detail number 56. Notice that even though Inosuke was not backing down about how strong he was when it came to fighting, he always acted like a little brother when he had to deal with people. Just look at the way he grabbed Tanjiro's shirt. It showed how much trust he put in Tanjiro. Detail number 57. The lady demon who controlled the Infinity Mansion was not just a normal demon, even though she was not even in the 12𝐒𝐄𝐑𝐄 yet. In fact, all of these lower moon demons were weaker than her, and moreover, after Upper 4 and Upper 5 died, Muzan even promoted her to be the Upper Moon 4. Detail number 58. When Rengoku slashed the demon's head, notice that besides the flame effect, there was a little bit of real flame on his sword created by friction between his sword and the demon's neck. Even in the flashback of Rengoku's dad, we can see a little burning on his sword. In theory, when the sword moved too fast to cut the demon's head, it created heat that made his sword catch fire. Detail number 59. This one is not a detail, but a dark theory behind Rengoku's habit of saying the word tasty when he eats something delicious. In Japanese culture, warriors or samurai were taught to appreciate every meal that they got because they never knew which one would be their last meal. Detail number 60. When Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke jumped on the train, I noticed a girl who looked very similar to Nezuko when she was human. Her clothes and hair were very similar to human Nezuko's. Also, if we look at the back, a woman wearing a hat also looked similar to Muzan's wife that we saw in Season 1. And that's not all. When Tanjiro walked past a mother and daughter, if you look closely, their eyes and their hairstyles looked very much like Tanjiro's mother and his younger sister. I think the studio did this on purpose. Detail number 61. There is a theory that they fell into their dreams from the moment they clipped the train tickets. So that means the first two demons that Rengoku killed were not even real. They were just in his dream. What do you think? Tell me in the comments down below, was it real or just a dream? Detail number 62. When Rengoku started to fight with the demon, they showed an animation where flames came out of every window of the train. Notice that the flame that came out from the first window was similar to the letter flame in Japanese language. Also, the next other flames that came out looked like a cremation on the wood in ancient Japan. In ancient Japan, when people died, they burned their corpses on a pile of wood. I think this was also a foreshadowing of Rengoku's death. Detail number 63. When Rengoku dreamed about reporting that he became a Hashira, we noticed that he put his sword on the right side. The swordsmen only put their swords on the right side when they felt safe and no threat nearby. Only Tokito, who always put his sword on the left side because he had a memory loss problem and did not trust anyone. He was always prepared for a fight. Detail number 64. When Tanjiro sniffed the ticket to see if it had a demon spell, we could see the number 9 on his ticket. This was a reference to the 9 Hashira. Detail number 65. When the lower one told Tanjiro about the ticket, we could see the number 5 on the ticket. This was a reference to the 5 other lower moon demons that had already been killed. Detail number 66. Based on the fighting techniques between lower 1 and lower 5 Rui, some fans have a theory that Rui, the lower moon 5, was actually the strongest among all the lower moons, and Rui could have been the lower moon one if he wanted to, but he was too obsessed with creating his fake Bond family and he gave a lot of his blood to his family too. So that's why he got weak. Detail number 67. When Zenitsu came to help Nezuko by using his Thunderflash technique, if you watch in slow motion, you will see the line that he bounced on in the train was like a shape of a star. That was not just a random bouncing, but it was actually one of the Thunder's breathing forms to bounce in a star shape. Detail number 68. When Tanjiro used his Hinokami Kagura form named Clear Blue Sky to cut the lower one's head, we could see the light from the attack also made the sky blue for a few seconds, just like the name of the form. Also, this form required a lot of energy and strength to hold the sword. That's why Tanjiro's palm was bleeding. Detail number 69. There is a theory that the reason why high-level demons' eyes were the last part to burn away when they died was because their eyes had the most blood from Muzan, so that's why it was not easy to burn away. Another theory is that their eyes had the most remaining human cells in them. Which one do you think is true? Detail number 70. When Rengoku cut off 𝐏𝐫𝐨𝐽𝐻's hand, the way he regenerated his hand back was not bone, flesh, and skin. As you can see, he literally regenerated his entire arm from his flesh. Detail number 71. If you look at the train rail, you can see a mountain tunnel maybe just 50 to 100 meters ahead. So, if the train had crashed later for a few minutes, this fight with 𝐏𝐫𝐨 might have taken place in the tunnel. And if the fight had taken place in the tunnel, 𝐏𝐾𝐫𝐶 might not only have killed Rengoku, but he might also have killed Tanjiro and all those 200 passengers because sunlight could not reach the tunnel. Detail number 72. In this scene, Rengoku used his 9th form of flame breathing that he created by himself. But if you look at the animation, it was not only flame, but also thunder, just like thunder breathing. In theory, Rengoku probably created this 9th form by mixing flame breathing with thunder breathing. That's why he could move so fast like thunder breathing. So that's all for today's video. I spent a lot of hours making this video, and all I ask for is a subscribe. See you in the next one.